Good day, lords and ladies of the internet. I am your host today, the Parafox Archangel, the English gentleman of the internet, and I welcome you all back to Limbus Company. I know it's been a while. I do apologize. If you want to hear my excuses, wait till the end of the episode. But for now, I just want to ask, before we move on to chapter 3, wow, I really am behind. I want to ask what you all want to see. How much you want me to include. I assume we're going to include the storyline none the same. But do you want to see me do all the fights? Skip past the ones that just don't have any content in them. Perhaps you want to see me take on the railway. As you can see down below here, that I did quite successfully. Yeah, I may be behind in the episodes, but I'm not behind in the actual content, as can be seen here. So tell me what you want to see, and let's just move on with chapter 3. Virgulus informs us of where we'll be going next. While everyone seems happy and energetic, one sinner is reacting rather strangely. Rather strangely indeed, eh? What's so strange, if you don't mind my asking? The sun is almost set, leaving the bus to be shrouded in dusk. Okay, you're not gonna keep going to do the rest? You're not gonna do the rest of the hymn? Let me do it for you. Silent Night. Yeah! Why is she humming Silent Night? Charon's humming a song while driving. I found myself singing along in my head to that strangely familiar tune. Hey! Stop being meta on me! Stop that! That's not okay! That is not okay! Stop that! I am not that predictable! The most beautiful performances are born from broken and ruined things. Ironic the way the world works. Virgulus spoke, having noticed that I was looking at the driver's seat. Alas, they have not the privilege to fully appreciate the glee of their own music. Oh, how unjust that is. Huh. Charon, you look like you're in a good mood today. Charon nodded. Joy brings out singing. I see. Although, as far as I remember, you would often hum that song when you felt down. Charon has no such memories. Charon sings when she's happy. Virgulus's eyes seemed to well with a subdued shade of dark. The kind of hue that would be picked right away if one wanted to express solitude as a color. But it only lasted for a brief moment. So I decided to dismiss it as the vivid sunset playing tricks with the light. The world Charon hums now is one that lacks sound and color. She's going through a long tunnel with no exit in sight. I'm sure that, just like the history of my own life that I've forgotten, Charon and Virgulus must have their own threads of cruel reminders. Pardon me. I believe that's enough of personal stories, Dante. Your work is to manage the crew, not befriend this old guide. When I looked at his face again, that momentary hint of sadness had fleeted, replaced with a faint smile. I gave him a few nods, then turned around to check on the sinners. Our bus passengers have had lifted spirits for a while now. It helped that they did what they were assembled for and secured a golden bough for the first time. All the sinners were busy talking about their exploits in Jacob's district. You should have seen me show that card game. You should have seen me show that card right there. Seriously, that was a real highlight. I'm starting to get sick of hearing the same story for the 7th time in a row. So let me change the subject. Where are we going this time? This time we're heading to K-Corp's nest. District 11, eh? Job's taking me to all sorts of places I never thought I'd visit. Tis home to another great individual. You are certain to find a souvenir shop there. I've always yearned for a limited edition figurine set. Dawn, you are such a precious thing. Ooh, didn't it also have a restaurant chain famous for its hamburger steak? Oh, they have to reference it in every game, they have to reference it every game now, don't they? Every single game. I need to visit Korea just to see this, just to visit this restaurant. I need to visit Korea just to visit this restaurant. Huh. Life has gotten much easier these days, hasn't it? Back in my marching days, all I had was a pinch of salt in my mouth. I know, right? The only food I could swallow during my voyage was canned soup that tasted like iron. Can't wait to try the steak, right, Roshu? Well, imagining the variances in blood color by region does make me salivate. Ugh, can't discuss anything with you. Hey, kiddo, what do you want to eat? Yeah, this is definitely the Sinclair arc. Looking for someone to share tales with and have a sensible conversation, Roja naturally turned to Sinclair. However... Sinclair? There's no point me repeating that. What? Gosh, golly, what's wrong? He's turned pale. He's suffering from hyperventilation and tremors. How long has he been like this? Ever since Mr. Vergilius mentioned K-Corp. I love you, Mersault. I actually love Mersault just because of how blunt and to the point he is. He's brilliant. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Because you did not order me to do so. Mersault stared at me like I was at fault for not doing the obvious. He is blunt, literally and gameplay-wise too. Not the point I was going to make, but a hilarious point all the same. I just got an upset stomach. Sorry. Really? Sure you're okay? Now that I think about it, Faust, I'm noticing a trend where one of us has visceral reactions to the destinations that Vergilius reveals. Additionally, when we arrive, it turns out that the place does have a history with the person in question. Does that have something to do with the reason we joined the company? You just referred to the team as we. Huh? It's a part of my mission to detect the slightest of changes. As for your question, while I can't tell you the reasons for recruiting the sinners in detail, there'd be no point in denying that our destinations and the backgrounds of each sinner are indeed related to a degree. Do all the uppish snobs have some condition that makes them yap on and on about things that can be answered with a plain yes or no?
두갈적 발화가 언제나 옳지는 않아요.
Hesperion Proron isn't always correct. Faust simply adopts the most effective mode of communication for the given situation. Is the what now?
배운 사람이라서가 아니라
It means that you're struggling to understand Faust because you're too uneducated. Not that Faust is over-educated. I'm not sure that's something you should say to Heathcliff. I really don't think that's something you should say to the very, 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 very violent man. Why, you? Just as Heathcliff approached Faust with his bat shaking in fury, Sinclair suddenly started throwing up on the floor. The bus finally quieted down after that. That's a very visceral reaction to K-Corp. Sinclair, were you a test subject? Is that what this is about? You are a test subject? To everyone's surprise, we were told that our destination is K-Corp. The entrance procedures one must go through to set foot in a nest are supposedly quite complicated. What was my team? You. What level are we dealing with? 16. Oh! I might not be high enough level for this. Ha! Shortly after the situation with Sinclair was dealt with. By the way, you meant the back streets of District 11 when you said K-Corp's nest, yeah? I missed pointing it out earlier since everyone got a bit excited there. I rarely misspeak, if ever. I know what I said, Gregor. K-Corp's nest is where we're going. Huh. Alright, but if we're entering a nest... Indeed, there's the immigration process. I don't have a K-Corp visa. You ain't about to tell me everyone else got one, right? What? Why are you looking at me? The solution is simple. CI. And keep on DER till we've breached the defense. In short, cider. I don't need to repeat that laugh. Whatever that eccentric abbreviation means for Roshu, the sinners have learned to stop questioning it. A company as big as ours might get a free pass. I really don't know this yet, but is Limbus Company the new L Corp? Because I'm not sure if this has ever been specified, but it's always felt suspicious to me since it was revealed as Limbus, so L, and we know that Runia is all about the aftermath and the fall of Lobotomy Corporation, otherwise known as L Corp. So there always needs to be a new company to replace the nest. So is Limbus Corp company the new L Corp? I don't think so. At least we don't know yet. They might have taken over the district, though. It makes sense that they would do, considering we're going after all of L Corp's stuff. Not to mention, breaking through using the method dear Roshu suggested will take ages. How badly must you underestimate a nest actively governed by a wing to say that? Oh, I see. No one's gonna take into account how much I'll suffer for that cider, huh? Sadly, none of our sinners bothered to respond to me in any capacity. As Ishmael said, we'll pass the immigration without needing a visa. Limbus Company has backing from the shareholders of a wide array of fields. Oh, do you happen to know the shareholder of H-Corp then? They once personally visited our home because my younger sibling insisted upon having a red passport as a kid. Couldn't say. I'm merely a humble guy who wouldn't be in a position to know such a thing. You know, it's just occurred to me, Vergilius. But how old can you actually be? Because I don't know if it's ever been specified in the Project Moon lore, but I assume there is only ever one of each color. So we've had the red mist, but you're the red gaze, and you're a color, which means you're on the same par as the red the mist. But you would have replaced the red mist, and I believe the red mist had only been dead for... basically, or gone missing, or whatever, for about 10-15 years. So if we assume you gained your color status when she was removed, how old would you have been when you gained your status as a color? Because you look like you're in your late 40s, maybe, from your picture. Maybe you're much younger, and it's just because you look so downtrodden, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. He might be the similar age as Iori is. If that was the case, and he's the same age as the purple tear, wouldn't that mean he would be older than Callie or the Red Mist? Took me a moment to remember the name. So he would have gained the red color status before she did, but she was the Red Mist. Does that mean there is more than one of each color? Because I would have assumed that each color was special, and you could only have one of each color. But I don't think it's ever been specified, and no ever been specified anywhere. So I haven't a clue. Otherwise, the question doesn't seem like one that's really worth answering. How harsh? That leaves the route to the checkpoint as our concern. Thorough inspection means that there are plenty of people looking for an easy way in, including those who'll take the pass by force. I hear several interlopers surrounding the bus. Welp! I've lost my voice for Dante. Welp, have bus will battle. They do have something else defining them. You mean like the red mist versus the red gaze? I mean, I don't see why there couldn't be multiple of the same colors. It's one of those weird things. You'd think they would be more identified by their red color more than anything. You know? I mean, one carries a sword, the other has special eyes. In all fairness, we have no idea what those eyes do, though. We just know they glow when he does something. Feeding the bus, we're feeding the bus. Glory to the hungry bus. Kill all the pricks that try to take our bus. Feed them to the lovely bus. Virgil has a sword too, a flaming sword. Then it really doesn't even act as a distinguishing factor. Cock-a-hoop, Charon's cock-a-hoop parking. Alright, off the bus. Time to get inspected. And let me add this, just in case you're feeling inclined to your usual antics. Don't go around making a scene, expecting things to go your way. Because that will not be how it works in this particular place. Ooh, I love how your eyes are glowing red when you say that. I thought his words were pretty intimidating, but despite the worries, we welcome all visitors to K-Corp's nest open-heartedly. Please form an orderly line as you enter, and stand where the instructions indicate. The menacing and interrogative atmosphere could subdue the temper of any first-time visitors, and the sinners were no exception. I could occasionally hear Sinclair sniffling, followed by Roger and Grigor calming him. Any of my questions why were met with heads shaken sideways. Look here, how nice it is to see you all stay in line and behave, like a brood of chicks on an outing. Wait, why are you out here? What made you follow us outside the bus this time? Noticing my flustered reaction at the unexpected company, Vergilius opened his mouth. Because this is a nest, Dante. Yes, I finally learned how to speak clock. I'm a color after all, we have superpowers. If one of you were to get into unexpected trouble here, well, Dante, the responsibility will be a bit too heavy for you to bear alone. When Vergilius put it like that, it sounded as if he were saying, "You're not reliable enough to be sent without supervision." He's completely correct. But I knew it'd be wise to keep this to myself. He is completely correct. I love how it was basically just like an airport terminal as well. It was just an airport terminal. 3-3, code purple. We wait our turn to undergo the checkpoint's official interview, with Vergilius and Ishmael instructing us on the process. Here's hoping we'll pass. The line's moving quickly. It'll be our turn in about 10 minutes at most. Will all 13 of us need to answer immigration questions? They won't be able to understand Manager Dante, so what should we do? Ishmael seemed to have a habit of speaking quickly and being more inquisitive when she got anxious. I was just about to get to that. Listen up. The K-Corp official will only ask very simple questions to the passengers in this line. And your answers will be similarly concise. Oh, good God, this is not going to be good. When the border official asks the nature of your visit, say, "I'm here for business on behalf of Limbus Company. Please refer to my work visa." Remember this exact phrase so that you can recite it word for word. I'll take care of the rest, so you just have to prove that you aren't here to cause trouble. We're not gonna make it up. We're not gonna make it past the checkpoint, are we? Even if memorizing that is too much of a burden for you, I suggest that you keep your mouth shut. You can present your employee card instead. Keep quiet and don't cause trouble. Easiest tasks in the world. I sneakily mumbled a sarcastic remark. I was worried that Faust might rat me out, but thankfully, Vergilius was idly staring off into space and sparing me from his scathing commentary. Now, next up. If you have a question, make sure to first ask yourself if it is actually meaningful. Then quietly raise your hand. Several hands were lifted, including mine. Rodion. Since this trip is for business, we can carry our weapons, yeah? Correct. Next. Then Greg's creepy crawly arm and Dante's chitchy clockhead getting a pass too?
That should be the case. For your reference, our manager's head counts as a prosthetic rather than a weapon,
which means it would be approved even if what we had were a tourist visa. Powers to revive notwithstanding. Ishmael took the role of the model student and answered Virgilis's question instead. It feels like something changed about Ishmael's attitude since the casino job. She seems to have decided to take matters into her own hands after I betrayed her expectations of my capabilities as a leader. We were warned of that at the beginning.
정확해.
Precisely. Gregor and I put our hands down at the same time. And Roshu, put out your cigarette before you speak.
난 손 안 들었다만.
I didn't raise my hand. Virgilis was doing his best to ignore Don Quixote's arms stretched skyward. But he finally caved and gave the woman with an adamantly raised hand the chance to speak.
그래, Don Quixote.
Fine,
뭐지?
Don Quixote. What is it?
저 유리벽은 어떤
For
용도로
what purpose does that barrier of glass serve? Following Don Quixote's finger, our attention was drawn to the glass wall stood in the middle of the building. Yeah, it's a very good question, that. On the other side of that clear dividing wall were countless people waiting in line. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are body bags. That line's slow to a crawl. People are sat on the floor waiting for it to move. Looks like they've been there for quite some time. There are many armed guards as well. 3 times as many compared to this side. Most of the glass walls you find inside buildings are there for safety reasons. Well, simply put, that line's for backstreets folks. Each nest handles immigration differently, but wherever it may be, it's super duper hard to get into a nest without a proper visa. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, honestly. Why do you think those bullies jumped us on the way to the checkpoint? They wanted our visa so they could enter the nest. Oh yeah, we did get attacked, didn't we? A problem we are not in our power to resolve. However, that answer didn't satisfy Don Quixote. Of course it didn't. Of course it didn't. Whether it was the fault of the gloomy yet oppressive atmosphere of the area beyond the wall, or the disturbances happening in there, I couldn't say. Manager, it's our turn now. Huh? Oh, right. Our line moved at such a quick pace, we barely had time to chat before it was our turn to answer the officials' questions. Remember, when you're asked about the purpose of your visit, remind me one more time, and I'll show Sangrila to you and the official or whatever. Despite Ishmael's worries, our inspection was smooth sailing. Please state the affiliation and purpose of visit. I've come from Limbus Company on business. Here's my employee card.
확인했습니다. 다음.
All checked out. Next.
From Limbus Company, business reasons. Take a look at my card and all that.
확인했습니다. 다음.
All checked out. Next. After our first sinner proved who we work for, it was a breeze for the rest of us. The official asked the same question in the same dry tone, took a curious glance at our faces and employee cards. Though based on their speed, it seemed more like a customary gesture rather than an actual look over. Then let each sinner pass. Something's amiss over there. The glass wall standing between us and them was thick enough to block out sound. It was hard for us to tell what was going on through the wall. However, I could see what was happening unambiguously. Someone with cuffed hands was being dragged away by security. Huh. And a small child was crying next to them, clearly scared and confused.
신경 쓰지 말죠.
We shouldn't bother. I don't know what happened, but I guess someone broke a taboo.
Yeah, sure. Those impoverished vandals that have, and their audacity to break the taboo of not stuffing enough cash in the right people's pockets, am I right?
지금 저한테
Are
이적되는
you
건가요?
mocking me right now?
Huh? What? I thought you didn't care. Guess someone's knickers are in a twist. While I was distracted by Heathcliff's loudly celebrating his first successful tease on Ishmael. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, what is she doing? Please tell me someone grabbed her. Please, Don, no. Our usual suspect sprang forth at her least expected moment, yet again. No, Don, no! Stop it! Stop being just like the character you're based on! Oh, God.
소속 그룹 이유를 말씀해 주세요.
Please state your affiliation and purpose of visit.
약자에게 자유를 주기 위해 왔노라.
I am come to liberate the weak and powerless!
An emotion is expressed for the first time on the checkpoint official's face. Flabbergastation. They looked up at Don Quixote with a face screaming that it was flabbergasted.
저자들을 풀어주게.
Release them at once! Can you not see that they are suffering?
소속 그룹 이유를 말씀해 주세요.
I like how he doesn't even respond. He's just like, oh God, why did I have to be on shift today? Who the hell is this nut job? Please state your affiliation and purpose of visit. The official ignored her demand and parroted the same question. All the while, Don Quixote was getting more upset by the minute. And then, in the looking through the transparent wall again, I saw the desperate child mouth a scream at the man dragged away in handcuffs. Da! Da! Oh! God damn it, Don!
그대가 나설 마음이 없다면 내가 직접
If you are unwilling to take action, then I shall myself!
Ooh.
코드 퍼플. 금기 K185 위반
Code
발생.
purple, violation of taboo K185 on site.
트롬보사이트 지원 요망.
Requesting
재전파,
thrombocyte units. Repeat, requesting thrombocyte. Veering away from inquiry like a broken record, the official spoke an intimidating immune response to the radio.
안내합니다. 코드 퍼플.
Attention, all personnel. Code purple. Circulation hall 2. Inspection booth 14. Thrombocyte leukocyte.
Blaring sirens accompanied the perplexing announcement, all the while thick metalled gates shut around us. Should have smashed her skull and carried her in a body sack.
그런다고
I doubt that would have made much of a difference. Thrombo, leuko. I believe they refer to platelets and white blood cells, respectively.
Why are they bringing in platelets for what is clearly an infection of this nest or whatever? I can understand the medical references, but why the platelets?
저들을 의미하나 보군요.
It must be them. Fitting for K-Corp, I'd say.
Looking in the direction Faust indicated, we all saw what she meant. Security forces wearing matching menacing uniforms were staring at us. Can't we just shove Dawn over to them? Can we not just give up Dawn, shove her over to them and just say, here, have her. We're not associated. Please. We don't need her ruining everything once again. Our dear Don Quixote's intolerance for injustice rears its troublesome head again. Armed staff of K-Corp surround us on all sides, all the while Virgilius watches with his arms crossed, upset at our repeated failures to behave. Alright, Don Quixote. Let's see what you need to do. I've gotten used to this sort of situation, but it looks pretty serious.
네.
Indeed, we violated a taboo of the wing after all. It's not like anyone was hurt. Can't we just talk this through? Faust looked straight into my face. For Faust to face someone directly when she usually stares into empty space as she speaks can only indicate one thing. I must have said something incredibly frustrating.
어떤 날개든
No matter the wing, infringement of a taboo means... A loud explosion left Don Quixote dismembered where she stood.
별도의 발포 경고 없이
That lethal measures can be taken against the violator without warning. It looks like border control isn't willing to forgive us until they dismember the rest of the sinners. Armed security staff was surrounding us on all sides. You never cease to
날이
surprise
갈수록
me.
놀라워. 바닥 밑에 고여있던
You managed to
조그만
wring
기대가
out
마저
the last drop of
정갈시켜버리는
expectation
말이야.
I had left for you. Hey! All of that's on Don Quixote, not the rest of us!
난 빠지지.
I'm keeping
저 녀석의
out.
단독 범행이라고
Pin the
하더니
whole thing on her,
다 같이
or take
해결하더니
responsibility,
알아서 해.
or whatever.
아까는 관리자님
I thought you accompanied us to handle situations that our manager can't alone.
어쩔 수 없는 것에
I came
책임을
with you
져준다고
to take
했지.
care of inevitable
이따위
problems.
헛짓거리에
Not having a
동참해준다는
pissing
뜻은
session in the wind.
아니었다.
Virgilius casually pushed his way through the line of armed guards and leaned against a wall. He then crossed his arms as to further drive home that he'll remain a spectator. He just goes to the armed guards. Out my way, out my way, out my way. I'm not getting involved. You can't fucking kill me anyway. I'm a goddamn color. You can't do anything to me. Alright, I remember you guys. Don't you guys heal? Yeah, you heal every turn. I thought so. By the by, you should really uptie 3 a few characters. I only have enough threat to do that to 1 character. One 3-star character at least. Let's see, you're all bludgeoning damage, and Grigor is fatal to bludgeoning.
어떤 실수를
So are you.
싸우자는 건 아니지?
You're normal.
간단하게라면
You're normal.
왔나요? 왔나요?
And you're fatal. Oh, Jesus Christ. This team is horrid for this. I think we're fucked.
지금은 두렵지 않아요.
You won't lose energy for losing, so it's fine. Really? We don't? Wait, seriously? They don't take your energy if you lose? Jesus Christ, PM is generous with this game.
거치적거리지만 마.
Oh yeah, we're fucked. There is no winning this.
I think it's the fact they heal at the end of every turn as well, which kind of makes it extra evil. Can we just die already? Alright, one's been taken out.
거치적거리지만 마.
두렵진 않네요.
We beat the first wave! Yay! Yay!
지금은 두렵지
Let's
않아요.
somehow perform a miracle! Miracle! Come on, Faust, you know all outcomes! Well, bye, Ryush. Well, bye, Faust. Oh no, you're in for a nasty beating. Oh yeah. Yeah, we are. There was a small hope. There was a small hope right there at the end. Still, I'm surprised it even returns the energy when you lose, you know? Alright then, so what have we learned? At the very least, don't take people that are vulnerable to goddamn bludgeoning. You! Massault! Murassault! Man of assault! You are the most powerful man here. Well, either way, let's go with this team. We got loads of bludgeoning. We've got... pretty much everyone is immune to bludgeoning damage. We've got plenty of pride, sloth, and sloth attacks in order for us to get Massault's ego. And even more pride and gluttony, I think your other one is. Yeah, gluttony. We got bits of gluttony and plenty of pride for Faust's ego as well. So yeah, this seems good, let's go. Well, we're not left with much choice in how we fight, so let's just go.
실행합니다.
What did Tremor do? Tremor, when hit by attacks that burst, Tremor, raise the stagger threshold by 3, lasts 1 turn. I see, I see. You may be struggling, Hyo Young, but
교전 시작합니다.
with this...
표적 파괴적 무력화.
You will now be able to do that.
규정에 따라 실행합니다. 내가 너를 위해 기도할 것이니
Go!
반드시 부서진다.
You know what'd be nice? Getting lucky with some of these goddamn rolls. You can win a fight, you know. You are allowed to, you know.
교전 시작합니다.
Come on, die. Like the prick that I know you are. No.
그 자식은
I think my issue with these guys are the fact they roll a goddamn 20 on their guard. And it's just like, that is ridiculous. I cannot roll anywhere close to 20 for my guard.
당연한 결과죠.
Goodbye. Okay, here we are. You know what time it is? It's time for egos. Unleash the ego. How are you one shot? Unleash the ego. Murder our opponents.
표적 확인.
Is this my first time seeing his ego?
환상의 세계로 들어가 보죠.
Oh yeah, Hong Yu's ego is AoE as well. I'd forgotten that.
다음 판단을 부탁합니다.
Oh, I think I'm about to just murder 2 people.
파우스트가 알아요.
표정대로.
Alright, there are 2 left. But not for much longer.
행동을
Finish them, guys! I don't know, there's something entertaining to me about the fact the rich kid is considered one of the most powerful people. You know?
표적 확인. 표적 완전 무력화.
Well, everyone, I'm gonna have to leave the episode there, but do tune in because there's more on the way. Plenty more. And so now I suppose I need to apologize for how long this has taken. I basically lost the spirit to keep making videos, and I just kind of vanished. But I'm working on that, and hopefully things should be getting better from now on. I'm going to try and make sure I get these out consistently. Hopefully. I'm going to do my best. So, everyone, I do hope to see you again next time, but I'm afraid that until then, it's time for me to bid thee all farewell, good day, and finally, good night.